And one of the distinctions we like to make in our work is, how is our work different than, say, the Red Cross or the Salvation Army? One of the key concepts that we found to be helpful to us is that of inspired benevolence versus benevolence. Benevolence is really an effort to help someone in a time of need, but inspired benevolence, the way that we've come to understand it, is really discerning the spiritual need and meeting that as well. So for example, when I train new people in our work, one of the questions that I like to ask them is, if the prodigal son were to call you for help and ask for some financial assistance, would you give it? Would it be right for the Principal Foundation to give money to the prodigal son? Well, that's a good question, because think of the time he's out in the field, he's feeding the pigs, terrible job for a Jewish boy, and he's starving. So our hearts would go out to him and say, absolutely, we should help him. But there's an important moment in that story that tells us that where financial assistance might help, but it also might contribute to his delinquency. Think of the moment in that story when he came to himself. That becomes pivotal to the story. So if we were to offer him some financial help before that moment, what is he likely to do with it? Well, perhaps go back to his riotous living and waste it again. But after that moment, it might be put to a different use. Interestingly, his circumstances haven't changed very much. Right before that moment and right after that moment, he's still out in the field, he's still feeding the pigs, he's still starving. So just getting a clear picture of what his human need is doesn't actually help us make a decision about whether a financial assistance would be helpful. The only way that we can really determine whether or not financial assistance is helpful is through spiritual discernment. And that's why prayer is such an important element of the work that we do at the Principal Foundation.